Christmas shopping is down. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, I'm Florian Heise, and welcome to another episode of Heise Says. I've got my world's greatest dad cup of coffee today. Stein is taking a break, and I thought we would have a look at this article from ABC about Christmas shopping. Now, we all heard the great news about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Doing real well. I bought a new washing machine, literally sitting out there in the laundry. Bought a new washing machine on Cyber Monday. Really happy with it, actually. But how many of you bought your sales on Cyber Monday or Black Friday and will hold off on making purchases in Christmas? Now, I have, recently we looked at consumer sentiment. That just dropped in the last few days. The data came in. We've seen GDP not growing very well. So sentiment is down. People are saving. They're spending less. Wage growth is down. You can have a look at here. All the predictions from the RBA. I know I love bringing up this chart, guys. Maybe I should be worried about the new YouTube rules with regards to harassment, because I'm picking on the RBA all the time. But I'm sure it's allowed. It's allowed. So they're tough boys and girls there. So Christmas shopping takes a hit as Black Friday and Cyber Monday bite retail sales. Now, you have to remember, guys, retail is about 10% of the workforce in Australia here. So this is concerning. If retail takes a hit, it's going to flow through to the rest of us. With less than a fortnight until Christmas, retailers are under pressure to discount stock at the time consumer spending is usually strongest following major online sales campaigns, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Oh, well, you got 2 weeks to do your Christmas shopping. Now, I know the women watching will think, oh no, I've so little time, and the blokes are going, oh yeah, Christmas Eve, go out and buy a present right before then. Let me know in the comments, guys, what your habits are. Does your wife go out and do the shopping all earlier, and do you come and do it later? Is there a difference in the sexes? Is it old-fashioned stereotypes, or is it based in reality? Because I somehow think it's based in reality. Tons of time to go Christmas shopping. Analysts say there is anecdotal evidence, the best type of evidence, that the online and in-store campaigns in late November boosted foot traffic. But there are fears that the sales spree may have brought consumer spending forward, detracting from Christmas revenue and putting pressure on retailers to keep the discounts flowing. In Western Australia, shoppers are tipped to spend $5.52 billion between mid-November and Christmas Eve, up 1.1% from last year, according to figures from Roy Morgan and the Australian Retailers Association. But the predicted 1.7% rise is the weakest forecast for any state or territory except the Northern Territory. Well, let me just bring up this chart here. Nope, sorry, wrong chart. That's foreign investment in property. This chart, which is showing arrears rates. Could you see why retail spending may be the lowest in Western Australia and the Northern Territory? People are struggling to pay their mortgages, let alone buy crap. It's only a small percentage. It's only 1.5% of mortgages going up. That's the thing, it's going up. People are getting worried. People are getting worried, guys. And that's affecting this. We're seeing it here. Christmas sales in WA are predicted to have the slowest growth of any state. Northern Territory. So there you go. The National Retailers Association has forecast a slightly lower spend of $5.2 billion for WA. Roy Morgan Chief Executive Michelle Liven said a lack of confidence by households partly explaining the weak growth forecast. The challenge for Western Australia is that last year the Christmas figures were on the back of pretty high levels of consumer confidence, she said. Consumer confidence in Western Australia is down quite a lot on what it was last year. In November, ANZ Roy Morgan's survey showed consumer confidence in Western Australia was 114 points down from 120 points at the same time last year. So guys, those of you in WA, let us know in the comments what you're seeing out there. I know we've got some viewers from WA, and I think someone mentioned yesterday he hadn't heard of any of the shops that had recently gone bust. What's it like on the streets there when you go shopping? And please, send me some footage of your Christmas shopping, guys. I'd like to maybe make a montage, and we'll see how it's going around the state or around the nation. So what's interesting is consumer confidence is still positive, she said. Consumer confidence nationally is actually lower than in WA. For the whole of Australia, it's actually sitting at 108, but it is still all comparative. See, this is the different data here. You're looking at their data, it's a different scale to here. This is the Westpac Economics Melbourne Institute, and they've got lower consumer sentiment, where this is the Roy Morgan consumer confidence. So there you go. It's still positive. I'm surprised. A 100-point reading indicates a neutral level of consumer confidence, with levels above or below 100 indicating positive or negative sentiment, respectively. Roy Morgan predicts 2019 Christmas sales will top the figures posted last year across the country. So this is what they're predicting. What's population growth been in that time? It'll be interesting to see. It will be. Trent Durwood, chair of small business advocacy group Leaderville Connect and former owner of toy store Henry Hiccups, says he noticed a downturn in consumer confidence about a year ago. He said businesses were adapting to the challenges of online retail, but not quickly enough to offset weak sentiment. The elephant in the room is the overall economy, he said. No one's hearing good news about the economy, and monetary policy is not necessarily working, he said. Perhaps we need to be looking at more fiscal policy. There's greater philosophical arguments about that. But I think there are problems with the economy. Well, yes, there definitely are problems with the economy. The problem is most of our wealth in our civilization is tied up in housing. It's tied up in housing and a housing bubble. So sustainable and authentic retailers cater to consumer trends. Justine Brasley runs Perth Upmarket, which provides local designers, many of whom sell their goods solely online the rest of the year, with a shop for a day. The quarterly markets attract up to 12,000 visitors, more than 200 retailers, but turnover at the recent Christmas market was lower than usual. Sales were still strong, but I guess they weren't what they were a few years back when we had the boom, she said. People are still spending, but I think they're very conscious about what they're buying. Jeweller Robin Wells is a long-time Perth upmarket retailer whose Christmas market turnover was slightly lower than last year. I think the markets over the years for my business have slowed down, but then when that's slowing down, my internet sales and other things have started to pick up as more people are shopping online, she said. Miss Wells added that those online customers required more frequent engagement than in the past. Everybody's making something and posting on social media, and it isn't enough, she said. You have to be authentic and be giving people the authentic story behind what you do. She's been watching Gary Vee, I think. She's been watching Gary Vee. If you don't know who he is, guys, if I strongly recommend, if you're in business at all and you've got a social media presence, look up Gary Vee. He's great. Got some good content out there. Really good too. I would probably have done 5 years ago when I started the architectural practice. I would have started, blogged the whole journey. I didn't even think about it. He's got a smart approach. I recommend it. So, people like to know where their product is from, who's made it, and who is making it. They need more. Graphic designer Tony Lowen founded her company, Mr. Poppins & Co., with a friend 2 years ago, selling leisure bags and beach towels. This November was a little bit down on last year, not significantly, but when you compare, it was down, she said. I don't feel like there's a lot of spontaneous shopping going on. So Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and top Boxing Day sales. Who is planning to fight Boxing Day, guys? Who is going to go to Boxing Day sales? We usually go to Harbour Town down the Gold Coast and do my yearly clothes shop at Boxing Day. So we'll see. We'll see. I hate the parking there. It's a nightmare. One of the unknowns for retailers was to what extent global pre-Christmas sales campaigns would affect consumer spending. The National Retail Association Chief Executive Dominique Lamb said Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales were set to eclipse those on Boxing Day for some retail categories. We know that homewares and furniture have had significant success around Black Friday sales in particular, she said. Certainly our retailers in Western Australia are reporting that they've had increased foot traffic. Roy Morgan's Michelle Levin said anecdotal evidence suggests Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales were particularly strong this year. It'll bring the spending back early. However, it's just really, really difficult to tell to what extent. One of the biggest challenges once you go into an early sales period is that the retailers have to keep discounting. A potential consolation for retailers heading into consolation for retailers heading into the final days of Christmas trade is the inherent unpredictability of forecasts. Last year, WA shoppers were forecast to spend $5.3 billion over the Christmas period, but the final figure was slightly higher, $5.4. So there you go, guys. Retail sales for Christmas are not looking as good in the past, although they're predicting them to still be higher. How do you think it will go, guys? Do you think Black Friday and Cyber Monday are going to hit the retailers? Are you planning to go to the Boxing Day sales, make all your purchases? Or are you hitting the streets now? And blokes, Christmas Eve, that's the day we do our shopping, isn't it? Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy my content and want to help us produce more, we have a Patreon where you can make a small monthly donation. Helps pay for all the equipment and software we need. We also have Amazon and eBay affiliate links. And we've just received one with Independent Reserve, where we receive a small commission when you make a payment or do a transaction. It doesn't cost you a cent. Finally, we have merch at the Heise Says blog. Perfect pocket squares for Christmas. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you all later. Bye for now.